Okay, only 5 days now until Nepal, so I'm in the final stages of getting stuff ready. I've got one more local hike that I'm going to do. Connor's coming up tomorrow, so I'm just going to do my 10-mile hike around the countryside without maps or anything like that. But I've got most of the stuff now ready. Got waterproof bags, they're ready for the clothes when I actually get those. This is all the other sort of essentials that I need to start thinking about. So I've got cash, got a few energy bars, got stuff that I can make sure I do the videos with. Just need my power banks on charge at the moment to make sure that's fully charged. I need the last couple of cables, but otherwise got maps, first aid kit, emergency sleeping bag, all this sort of stuff, water bottles. I've got a checklist that I've got to go through, and then I've got to find out how well it fits into my new backpack, my new Bergen, how much room I've got left, and how much it all weighs. That's going to be an important thing. Not long now, getting excited. Well, after months of looking forward to it, practicing, walking, map reading, etc., getting all my bits and pieces together, the day's finally here. I'm at Worcester train station, ready to head off down via Reading onto Gatwick, then onto Istanbul, then Kathmandu, and then Pokhara. Got my bags. So here's my old trusty army Bergen. That was the one that I've been practicing with, and here's the one I'm taking over the hills. This one's got my actual walking boots in and some spare stuff. I'll leave that at the hotel and I won't take it up over the hills, so I'll just have the one. But stupidly excited now, ready for this adventure. Right, off to the gate now. Up to now it's just been a pretty regular journey. I mean, obviously jumping on a train, coming to Gatwick Airport, but now actually getting on the flight. Istanbul's a brand new destination for me, never been there before, and never flown Turkish Airlines before, so it almost feels like the whole adventure's really starting now. I chose to sit at the back of the aeroplane so that I can stand up and stretch my back as we go through, which was fine, it worked out really well, but it does also mean that we're only getting off the front and I'm going to be the very last person off the plane. Just briefly stopped in one of the shops here. It's done very much like a Turkish souk. I do need to get a postcard for Lewis. He collects postcards and puts them around his wall map that Ali and I put up, so need to find a postcard from Istanbul and obviously one from Kathmandu when I get there. So now we're going to see about getting the next leg through to Kathmandu. 6.5 hour flight now to Kathmandu. Not very exciting. What's there to say? Kathmandu. It's warm. Lovely. Well, in my ignorance, I just expected the flight to Pokhara to be from the same airport, but it turns out there is a domestic airport as well as an international one, and people just keep vaguely waving in this direction, that way, that way, that way. I've got absolutely no idea where I'm going right now. I'm just sort of following some people and every now and again asking where the domestic airport is. That way, that way. So the domestic airport is equally as busy as the international one. Having said that, I'm one of the few, if not the only white face that I can see here. I think most of the sort of tourists jump in one of the minibuses or the little coaches that take them off to the foothills or wherever they're going to start from, Pokhara, or there's another place called Lukla where a lot of the walks start from. I think the Everest Base Camp walk starts from Lukla. Now the minibuses, they sound quite interesting, but they take a long time. The roads are quite treacherous, and it can take upwards of 9 to sort of 11 hours to get to the foothills, to get to the base camp from there. It's great if you're backpacking, you've got weeks and weeks and weeks, but it would just be a whole nother day for me compared to a 25-minute flight if I fly there directly. So exactly that's what I'm doing. Delay of a further 50 minutes. At this rate, may as well have caught that bus. I'm not even sure what the delay is now. I mean, it's a 25-minute flight from Kathmandu to Pokhara. To put that into perspective, from Birmingham to Glasgow is an hour, from London City to Amsterdam is an hour. This is 25 minutes. Now, how come the flight has now been delayed by a couple of hours? You know, that's sort of 4 trips. Finally on the bus, they're going to go and board the plane. So, last leg of the flight. Well, this is about the weirdest thing ever. The hostess is going around waking people up because we're about to land. She said, don't sleep, we're about to land. Never, ever encountered that, even on a small plane. Well, if there's a fine line between landing and crashing, that's just what happened then. We smashed into the ground. People all around me screamed out. But anyway, we're here safe. And look, here's a little regional airport. There's the baggage claim building over there. There's the plane that just smashed into the ground, smoking somewhat out the back of the engine. So here's the room after 28 hours of travel. Super impressed with the hotel so far. We've come out onto the private balcony. Okay, not quite as nice as the one next to me, but we do have lake view over there. And don't know if the camera will pick it up, but we've got the Sarangot hill there where apparently you get amazing sunrises. You climb that early enough. I doubt I'll be up early enough in the morning to go and climb that, and obviously the day after I'm off walking anyway. The town, I don't know what I was expecting. I was expecting something quite sleepy and quiet. It's vibrant, it's colourful, it's bustling, it's nice and clean, no honking of horns. Traffic was nice and sedate, no honking of the horns, no erratic mad driving whatsoever. So far, loving it. Seriously loving this place so far. Day 2 of my travels, first full day in Nepal. Just gone 7 o'clock in the morning. Want to get up, got lots to do today, got to get my trekking permits, want to sort out zip wiring, make sure I'm all packed, ready for early start tomorrow, probably earlier than today. And this afternoon, what I'm going to do is get out the map, find out exactly where I am. Got the lake over here, and then now I need to head somewhere north, but I need to find out, obviously, on the map exactly where I'm going, so I'm sorted for the morning. Just going to go zip wiring now on allegedly the world's highest, longest, fastest zip line. See how that goes. Just been told that the wind is a bit too high at the moment, so we're going to have to wait 15 or 20 minutes before starting it. It looks scary. It seriously does. Go! So I've come back to the hotel to get my passport, and where I was heading to was nowhere near. I'd still not got there, but it turns out I wasn't where I thought it was when I got dropped off in the minibus. So I thought I'd get out the map and try and orient myself. So two big problems to start with. I haven't even started walking yet. Two massive problems. Firstly, here's the map. Okay, here's Pokhara. No lake. Okay, there's a lake right outside my window, which means I must be further off the map somewhere down here, so I'm not even on the map yet. Okay, second problem, compass. Okay, pointing north is right. If I pick up the compass, take 3 steps across the room and put it down here, literally 180 degrees pointing the other way. Now, whether it's metal girders in the room itself, or whether there's something wrong with the compass, I don't know what can be wrong. But I reckon I need another one, because that, at the moment, 3 steps away means it cannot be trusted. It means I don't know on this map how to begin to orient it. The hill outside my window, Sarangot, is there. But I don't know whether the map should be this way or this way, according to that compass. And that makes a big difference. Logistically, it would have been possible to have arrived in Nepal, got my trekking visa on the same day, and go out trekking literally the next day. But to do so would have been an injustice. To miss out on Pokhara, it just wouldn't have been fun, wouldn't have been fair to them. It's a fantastic place. They seem to love their motorbikes. Everyone drives nice and quietly, nice and sedately. There's no rush to do anything. There's a whole sense of manana about it. There's, just take your time, enjoy it. So just had my photo taken here. Check the monitor. Okay, these nice people have just taken my photos, ready for the permit. So this is at last where I need to go. No idea how long this is going to take, but this is the last sort of dependent thing that I need to do. As soon as I've got this, I'm completely on my own. So just sitting on the side of the road, having a beer, swinging my legs, waiting to go into the visa office. I've seen a few signs in town saying that they do wildlife safaris, and I've seen pictures of elephants and rhinos, and I was thinking, they got rhinos in Nepal? I don't know, but got a 100 rupee note here, and it's actually got a picture of a rhino, so I guess they do. I don't know what it is with cows in sort of India and Nepal. I don't know if the camera's going to pick them up, but that's now the 3rd, if not 4th one I've seen today. Is stopped right in the middle of the road. Obviously they're religious animals here, so nobody moves it on, nobody beeps. The traffic literally just stops and has to go around it. If that cow wants to go left or right, everyone else will have to put up with it. But that's the 3rd one I've seen that stopped right in the middle of the road. So the cow was now proceeded down the middle of the road as though it's doing some drink drive test by walking along the dotted line. Here it goes, slap bang in the middle of the road. I've seen them in India and here. What is it with these cows and the middle of the road? It's pretty much the equinox here, which obviously means equal amount of daylight to night time. So the sun's starting to go down now. It's about 6:45, so obviously it's going to get light in around 12 hours time. My body clock's completely all over the place. I'm going to go out for something to eat. If I wake up at 3-4 in the morning again, I'm going to get up and I'm going to start heading towards the hills. The first 4 or 5 miles at least is all along the roads anyway, so it's not going to matter if it's too dark and too quiet. There's no point just laying in bed trying to get back to sleep. But I'm looking forward to properly doing it, getting into the hills, doing the walk.
Woke up this morning to the distinctly unpleasant sensation of having a mosquito buzz right next to my ear. I couldn't switch the lights on because the power was out, so I think the mosquito cut the power and then she came in and tried to attack me. I didn't think she got me. I've literally just started packing my stuff up now, and then I've just splattered her full of blood, so she obviously got me somewhere. It's probably going to be right where my backpack rubs. But had a bit of a lay-in this morning. I was tired, I really was tired, so mosquito woke me up at about 5:30 and I just lay in bed and dozed till then. So I'm just packing stuff up now, almost ready to go. Gonna go and get some breakfast. I need to fill up with water. I've only got a little bit of water, and then head off. The adventure starts. So here is the plan for today. I'm actually off the map, just down here by the lake, and then what we're going to do is follow the road along all the way over to here, and this is where the trail really starts. Can get a taxi directly to there. It's going to be about a 5-mile trek, but it's 9 o'clock in the morning. I've got all day. Then the trek really starts. This is where the hills are, and I'm going to be going up along here to a place called Pitamdwali. Probably pronounced that absolutely terribly, but there you go. So I'm going to be gaining over 1,000 meters today. Going to go up to an elevation of 2,100. But that's the plan. Let's go and do it.
As you can see, a guy on a motorbike stopped. You can see me reading the map when I got to the construction works. I was trying to work out whether I could cut across. So he said, "Where are you going?" So I said, "I'm going to Pedi." He said, "Oh, do you want a lift?" Had it been a car, I think, or even a van or a truck or something like that, I probably would have said no, but it was a bike. I thought, do you know what, it's only like 1.5 kilometres. I'm not committed to walking every step. I'm not doing that. So yeah, it was good fun. So I'm now at the beginning of the trek. Okay, so here's the thing. This is where I wanted to start. I think I've been dropped right here. You can see there's a bridge, and the reason I've been dropped there is this is where the landslide took place. So now I need to wind my way up here and try and join this main path. So here we go, beginning of the trek. Hey, how you doing? You all right? Lovely people, nice. Right, let's do it. Right, I've done 17,200 steps just to get to the beginning of the hike, so that was a lot further than I thought, and that was with hitching a ride on the motorbike. Having said that, obviously the motorbike took me past where I was due to go, because I think where that landslide was roughly where the walk should have started. So now I've pretty much got the same distance to do again, except now we're starting on the hills. It's just come up for 1 o'clock. I've not come far up the hill. It's roasting hot. Obviously I've already done a long way. So stopping for a breather. So just wound my way up this path here, and we're now in Dumpass. I've got to go on yet, all the way on through to here. Another thing the manager said, I'm heading here. Okay, and he pointed out we're actually here. I thought I was there, but I'm a little bit further down the hill there. And he had to look at the distance. He went, oh, he had to look at me. That's easy for you. He said, you'll do that in what, 2.5 hours. I did then have to tell him that I'd already come all the way from right down here in Pokhara. So he was a little bit more impressed then, but he thinks between here and here is going to take me around 2.5 hours. We'll see. We've still got a fair climb to do. I'm at 1,650 metres once I get there, and I've still got to go up to 2,100. So still some climbing to do. So apparently this is the way, not on the dusty road that I was following. And just in any doubt which way to go, there's a handy arrow. A bit like on my walks in Worcester, the path takes you right past people's houses, almost through their allotments. Namaste. Okay, this is much more
what I was expecting. Look, little private crops of wheat and a nice little path. Following that road up, I thought it was just going to be like that the whole way. This is much nicer. Look at those hills. Silence. Peace and quiet. Here's one for Simon and Becky. No matter how much training you've done, it's never going to be enough. Trust me. This is brutal. It didn't help, I suppose, me volunteering to walk nearly 10 miles just to get here. But looking on the map, I thought, oh, it'll be too short if I catch a taxi there and start from the bottom. I've done about 2.5 hours. Feels like it's going to take me about 2.5 days. I've not come a great deal of distance. It's all steps, all of it, all uphill. Look, I don't know if you can tell, I'm quite tired. Just come into a little village area here. There was a sign there because I'm going on to a place called Pothana. I'm somewhere along here, I'm not sure exactly where yet, but I'm going on to Pothana. There was a little sign saying 0 hours 45 minutes to Pothana. Somebody had scratched out 0 and put 1 hour 45. So basically I'm heading over there. The map's oriented. Here's Pothana, so Pothana must be over there, and I'm going on to Pitam. So I'm guessing it's somewhere over there. Maybe even at the top. Namaste. It's raining. It's actually refreshing. Amazing view down into the valley there. I passed a sign 10 minutes ago or so that said the next little village was in 25 minutes. So it should be another 10, I think, minutes, because I'll walk a bit faster, I reckon. Whether I'm going to do the last 2 kilometres on to my planned stopping point, I don't know. It might be getting too dark and I might be getting too tired. Gonna see. I've had to stop just a couple of kilometres short of where I planned to go, because as you can see it's pouring with rain, hence the rainbow. So here is my room. And I'll go and show you what the bathroom looks like. Lock on the outside, a little bit worrying. There you go, I'm going to have a shower. Because I need one. Because I'm sweaty. So this is where I got to on the map. Pothana. It's only another 2 kilometres onto there. But I was very easily tempted into stopping. And then no sooner had I made my mind up than the rain began to absolutely pelt down. Lady speaks really good English, and she said, oh, it's due to be like this until about 8 in the morning, then it's going to clear up, because you should get some good views of the mountains once the rain stops tomorrow. Laundry service going on here as we washed all my sweaty kit. Pleasures of just having a shower and washing the sweat off. I'm tired. It's been a long day. It is now 5:10. I started walking at 9:30, so that was pretty much walking non-stop. I'm going to go get some food now. Hopefully get some dal bhat. So I've got a slight dilemma about what to do tomorrow. Have a look at the map. I'm in Pothana and the plan is to go on to Forest Camp. Now I can just follow the main path, but when I had a look at this map, there's a suspension bridge if I follow this subsidiary path. The only problem is it involves going downhill quite a lot. Landrock is at 1,565 metres, and then this is at 2,500, so there is a 1,000 metre climb in that distance there. That's about 2 kilometres long, 1 kilometre high, so you can work out how steep that's going to be. probably make my mind up tomorrow when I get here. I mean, that's by then I have to have done it. That's where I was planning to get to tonight. But so I've got another couple of kilometres there. It's only 200 metres high, so it shouldn't be too bad getting there. It seems to follow along the contours. This here seems to be absolutely brutal, this little part here. Having said that, I would know that I'm finishing there either way. I don't know. Dilemma at the moment. I was too hungry to start filming before I began eating. This is the famous dal bhat. Okay, you get... Apparently the good thing about this dish is it's unlimited. You can just keep asking for more. They'll bring back more and more of it. Obviously rice, some veggies. This is a veggie curry, and the actual dal is in here. It's tasty. And apparently it's just what you need after a trek. I just suddenly had a huge cramp in one of my thighs. I jumped up, and the lady laughed and came in. She said, "Eat more, eat more." So I think she knows it's good protein food. Day 4 in Nepal. Day 2 of walking. Did 32,000 steps yesterday. So you'd have thought I'd sleep really well, but I couldn't. I could not sleep. Firstly, there was someone snoring downstairs really, really loudly. So I got up and walked around, and the lady came out and told me to move down to a further room. I'd unpacked all my stuff, so I left my stuff in the first room. Came and sit on that one. Cockerels woke me up at 6 o'clock this morning when I finally did drift off briefly, but I saw most hours in the night. Still, looks like it's a nice sunrise. And spoke to the guide last night about taking my proposed route, and he seemed to think it would be fine. The suspension bridge route will add on around another hour, he says, to the walk, but I'm going to be leaving by about 7, half 7. I'm already mostly packed. Just let my clean kit dry out a little bit more when the sun's out. I'll get some breakfast and then make a start.
What's here?
Breakfast of Tibetan bread and local boiled eggs. Still warm. Beauty in the background, just behind the tree, is Machu Picchu. Cause of a bit of confusion this morning, because when I looked on the map I saw a height of 3,700 metres, and then when I checked to see where I'm ultimately going, it was over 4,200. So I thought, I can't be climbing higher than that. Turns out I was looking at Machu Picchu base camp being 3,700. That is 7,000 metres. So today or tomorrow, hopefully, somewhere over there behind these mountains, should see Annapurna 1, 8,091 metres. It's now 8 o'clock, bang on 8 o'clock. A little bit later than I expected, but breakfast was nice and relaxed, chatting to some other guides, the ones that put me right on the distance and the height, and to another trekker. So nice and relaxed, and now going to head off. It's already getting warm. This t-shirt's not going to stay on long. That's 26 minutes of walking uphill, and I'm not at the next place yet. Can't be far. Can't be far at all, because it was about 2 k's, and then hopefully quite a bit of downhill to the suspension bridge. So I've now reached Pitham Durali, which is was my original intended stopping point for last night. I'm glad I stopped where I did, because I mean, there were really nice people, and that was an extra half an hour. I'd really had enough yesterday. Look at that stunning view. That is absolutely amazing. So that's Machu Picchu. I can't remember the names of these. The guide did tell me. And even though the sun's probably blotting it out, views down into the valley, down into Pokhara. Still a little bit misty. Okay, so the mountains are looking great. A little bit misty down there, but I'm glad, because otherwise it would be roasting. Now from here, there's one trail that takes you off straight up to forest camp, which must be, I assume, up there somewhere. And there's another one that's going to take me down to that suspension bridge. So I've got to find out where I'm going from here. The advantage coming this way, I think, going down to Landruk, is that from Prithi Durali to forest camp, which is going to be my ultimate destination and was the destination of the other trekker that I saw, from Prithi Durali there's nothing apart from jungle. There's no food stops, no restaurants or anything, so it's going to be a, you know, I don't think it'd be a really full day trek, but even then, just means there's nowhere to stop for a beer or sit down or whatever. You can just walk through the forest, but nothing to break it up. Where at least when I get to Landruk, I can stop, chill out, maybe get something to eat, have a beer before tackling the last killer uphill bit. That's a further 20 minutes, all downhill, still sweating because it's steep, and obviously you're taking a lot of weight and everything on your knees. But lovely little shop here in the middle of nowhere. Well, call it the middle of nowhere. Look at that view, a valley and a mountain. So just ridiculous not to stop here for a hot sweet tea. This is me, little place. Got tins, got water, a whole load of bottles and everything there in the background. Every single one of these will have had to been carried here on someone's back. They're not going to helicopter it up. There's no way you can get a motorbike or anything. That literally gets carried up. You can understand why they put a decent markup on it. On the right track. Reckons it's 2 hours to Landruk. If it is, that will get me there at 9:30, 10:30, 11:30, so around lunchtime. So that'd be good. Now this is not the suspension bridge that's on the map, but of course it is a suspension bridge. I could walk round, but where's the fun in that? Stopped at Tolka, probably a little under halfway for the whole day's journey, but I want to make sure I enjoy it a bit more today than yesterday. Yesterday was a beasting, and also making sure I take on plenty of fluid. So nice lady here saying, if you want a cup of tea, yeah, do you know what? I do fancy a milky tea. Look at the valley view. Can't see the mountains so much from here. Got to be done. Quick wash in there, I think. And I've now got a 1,000 metre climb up there to my final point. It's 12:30. There's a sign there saying 2 hours 30 minutes. It depends how often you have to stop. Let's see, it's not going to be fun. If I thought yesterday was tough, it was nothing compared to this. Oh, wow. Look at this. My work to rest ratio is ridiculous, as in I'm walking about 10, 15, 20 steps, having to stop for a minute or two. I'm absolutely goosed. Just what I need. A traffic jam. I can't get past till he moves. Highly against the odds. Just past a Sherpa going down. I said to him, how far? It's there. But that is going to take me everything I've got left. That will be at least 3 stops getting up there. Break it down into sections. I hate my backpack right now. Oh God, that was a nightmare. That is where I would have come from had I been sensible enough not to go down to Landruk. That's where I came from. When I turned up, the lady said, do I want a single or a double? I said I'll be fine with a single. She gave me this room. I think it must have been the only one left. So obviously I slept in the double. It did actually come as an ensuite. However, the trouble is that in there is the public shower and the toilet, and you can hear everything that goes on in there. Day 5 of Nepal, day 3 of the trek. Yesterday was utterly exhausting. I was physically sick at the end. I had cramps, I was shaking. Lay down for a little while and then managed to get up and have some food,
and got a little bit of sleep, not a tremendous amount. The walls in these things are absolutely paper thin. You can hear people breathing in the next room, let alone snoring or rustling or turning over, doing whatever they're doing. Anyway, did get some sleep. The plan today is to go on, journey's broken in half. I go from Forest Camp, where I am at 2,500 metres, up to Low Camp at 3,000 metres, and then the second leg from there can go up to High Camp at 3,500 metres. I'm literally just going to play it by ear today because yesterday was exhausting. Having said that, I do raise 1,000 metres if I do it all, but it's over a far more gentle gradient. If I never have to do yesterday again in my life, I'll be quite pleased. Let's see how today goes. Just set off. It's immediately uphill. Well, it would be. Let's see how we go. Right, I made up my mind. Definitely going to stop at Low Camp. So exhausted after yesterday. Even walking on the flat is tiring. I'm still going to end up climbing 500 metres. So what I could do is stop at Low Camp and then tomorrow go to High Camp, but leave the majority of my gear and just go up to High Camp and come back. That's another idea. When I bought this stick 2 days ago, it was more out of a sense of pity for the guy, thinking, do you know what, why not, let's give him some money. Do you know what, it's the best 50 cents I've ever spent. Also, when I was doing the training around Worcester, I was doing about 1 kilometre every 10 minutes, so fairly moving over the flatland. If I'm doing 1 kilometre every half an hour here, I'll be impressed. But we're going through rhododendron forest now, so there's not a very good example if I see any more, but it's sort of spread out, but it's right at the end of the season, so most of the petals have now fallen. But apparently 3-4 weeks ago, thick covered with rhododendron. God, I can't speak. I could not do this in a few weeks' time. It's already roasting, far too hot for me. Anybody who knows me knows I can't deal with the heat at the best of times. I heat up and I can't cool down, as the record goes, but it's sweltering. At the last place I was at, one of the guides was talking about getting them to phone ahead and book a room at High Camp so that they definitely had a bed for the night. I don't think I'll have a problem with Low Camp. And then if I do leave my stuff there, I can just walk to High Camp and back tomorrow, but I'll have less kit to carry, so I'm hoping it's feasible. I should finish nice and early today, by midday or something, and then I can just rest and drink water and laze about and read and enjoy the scenery. Made it to Low Camp. It was actually 2 hours 15. Loads of rhododendrons over there. This is hello, namaste. This is one of the tea houses. Machu Picchu. It's just slightly shrouded at the moment. It's over there. Heard some other travellers talking there about how many times they had to stop on the way up here because of the incline. That was nothing compared to yesterday. Station tonight. Not quite a bare cell, but you know what it's going to do. So I asked for a shower here at Low Camp, and they said that it'd take them a while to get it ready to warm it up. So I came for a lie down. Just been ill again. So I think the exhaustion's really got to me. I think what I'm going to have to do to be safe and to be realistic is just stay here tonight and then begin to make my way down 3,000 metres up. So if I get back, if I do 1,000 metres down tomorrow, find a halfway point, then another 1,000 back down to Pokhara, it'll give me a full day in Pokhara to recover, rather than just turn up and fly straight to Kathmandu sort of immediately the next morning. At least I'll have the day just to recover, because I'm not feeling great. There's a cheeky young kid here, fascinated by the size of my GoPro, thinks it's hilarious that it's so small. In each of the food halls, certainly in the one I was in last night and this one here, they've got sort of, what would you call it, not like a furnace thing, but just a round tin drum with a chimney. It's their fire. It belts out the heat. They seem to like it really warm. The last place, and you couldn't get anywhere near it. I thought the thing was going to melt. Anyway, just walked up to this one inside and put my hand to it, and it was off, which they took to obviously to me mean that I wanted it on. So they've suddenly bustled around and started it up. It's smoking like a good one at the moment, so I can't even go in there. It'll probably go on my bill, the cost of the wood and the cost of the lighter. The higher up you go, the more you have to pay for. You have to pay extra for the shower, you have to pay extra for Wi-Fi. So they've just had to switch the Wi-Fi off because of the lightning. So, but, you know, it's a couple of dollars. So who cares? More people stopping in now because of the weather. I think there's going to be a premium on rooms. I've got a treble room, but that's for me. I'm not sharing. It's looking more and more likely that I might have to share. There's a great big 7-foot German inside, and he's just surrendered his room to a couple of female hikers. Storm's a lot closer now, absolutely lashing down. Obviously there's no way people can go on. If I do have to share, it means another night of no sleep whatsoever. I can almost guarantee it. I might pack my bag just to get ready to head out immediately that the sun's up. Not good, getting really tired. Storm hopefully is beginning to pass. Just picked the brains of one of the local guides who speaks brilliant English and who somebody else is paying for. Just to recap, I'm at low camp, then you've got high camp, and then you've got base camp. In between low camp and high camp there's something called low camp view. It's only another 300 metres up, it's about 1 kilometre away. So I asked him, could I go up there and then begin my trek from there? He said, unless I'm going on to base camp, there's no point even going to high camp. All the views that I'll get will be from what they call low camp view. So if I'm feeling okay in the morning, I'm going to carry on up the hill, hopefully get the views that I need, and then begin my trek back down. I'm a little bit happier with that. So I'm just hoping the weather's okay, because there's no point, if it's like this, if it's cloudy, there's no point going up another 300 metres just to turn around, having looked at some cloud and come back down. So constant flux of change, but that's the new plan. Quite communal. And there's the kitchen where they do everything. So a massive blast of lightning and thunder at the same time, like an explosion, just totally took out all the electricity, the internet, everything. It was absolutely huge. People screamed. That is the closest and loudest lightning and thunder strikes simultaneous that I've ever seen. It was amazing. Not for some people who are very scared. It's like we're under fire. There have been 2 massive blasts. There's obviously no telling whether there are going to be any more or when the next one will go off, but it's been quite incredible. I'm kind of hoping just as I'm filming there's going to be another one. They've been absolutely incredible. This in the background is also part of the reason I can't sleep most nights. Sometimes I've got some minute musical ability, other times they just pluck strings and hit drums randomly. This is one of the more musical ones, believe it or not. Day 6, day 4 of hiking. So different problem keeping me awake last night. I woke up and I wasn't sure what had woken me up at first, so I had my torch and clicking it on and off because I thought I could hear some noises scurrying around, and what it turned out, there's a mouse hole here. He'd come down, it was right next to my head, bigger than that, and he kept scurrying back up into the hole. So in the end, to stop him coming out, what I did is I got some curry powder. I've got some homemade curry powder I brought with me, strong, lots of chilli, and I threw it in the hole. After that, all he did was scurry along there for quite a while, so that kept me awake last night. But looks like it's a beautiful morning, so what I'm going to do is I've arranged to leave my bag here. I'm literally just going to take water and go up to low view camp. sorry, middle view. You can just see the mountains. So I should get, apparently from there, as I said yesterday, the best views I'm likely to get. Still a bit hazy over here, but as we begin to pan the camera around, you begin to see the mountains, and then towering above those ones, though the sun's going to block it out a little bit, Machu Picchu. And that for me is as high as I'm going. There's no need to go any higher. I think I need to go down anyway. 1,268 metres up a mountain. I've got a phone signal. It's not a brilliant one, but still good enough to send photos home to let people know I'm alive and that I made it as far as this. You can see some buildings over here and another one just on that ridge there. That's not high camp. High camp is up and hidden beyond there, and apparently it's going to take another 2 hours plus if I did want to go there. But as I said yesterday, one of the guides told me if all you want is this view, unless you're going to go to base camp, because that's your particular goal, actually to say you went to base camp, there's no point going on from here. So as I say, for me, that's it. Snow, that's how high we are. Obviously that's in the shade at the moment, but as I look up, you don't have to go much higher at all. It's probably only another 100 metres where there's snow still in the sun right now, and obviously from there on you're right up in the snow line. So we're just sort of at the borderline of the snow line now. And so the downward trek begins. Stopped here because some of these petals have just fallen. Look how exquisite these are. Absolutely beautiful. Handy map telling you what I've done. Started here on Pokhara and made the mistake of walking all the way to Pedi. Most people get transport to there because from there you start the first trek up here, and this is where I stopped. Then I went on to Durali and made the second mistake of going down to Landruk before then climbing up to Forest Camp, and then when I went on to Low Camp and then on to Low Camp View. So this is bamboo forest I'm going through now. Incredible that what to them is just a grass that grows here, we pay a small fortune for if you want it looking pretty in your garden. Somewhere up the mountain, there's people whooping and yelling. So I come all the way here, thought, I know, beautiful and silent, I know what I'll do. Shout out like a flippin' lunatic. Over downhill. The storm's rumbling away behind me. Hasn't caught me up yet, and it hasn't yet started raining. But it does sound like it's catching. Not all the locals are as friendly. I'm glad they're on chains. There's 3 of them. There's only one of me. Namaste. Loang. Thank you. I take it this is yak's wool. I don't know what the old lady was doing. Looks like she's... I don't know. I don't know what she's doing. Anyway, she asked for some money, so I gave her 100 rupees. It's like $1. Probably means the world to her. So, for the first time in 4 days, I've lost the path. It kind of looks like it's going there, but it looks like it's been deliberately boxed off. There's another sort of path going that way, and there's something over there which I walked along for a couple of 100 metres and it just stopped, because a lot of these can just be cattle tracks. So right at this point, with the storm catching me up,
The range is starting. I'm not sure which way I've got to go. But I managed to find the path again. Now there's a fact that cows and cattle can't walk down steps, which means if you've put steps in the hills, they will find a way around it. And that's why you end up with so many cattle tracks all over the place, which can quickly lead you off the trail. And there, spread out before me, is the bottom of the valley. I've just come from forest camp. I'm heading to Luang. Come from forest camp pretty much non-stop. 5-minute rest here and there. But there's been nothing. There's been no... Well, there was that one little tea house. I got some water. But otherwise it's been punishing. The valley is still a long way below. And I'm heading down that way. Passion for me coming to Nepal in the first place was looking for another challenge, and I saw online there was an ultra event across Iceland, and I started to have a look at it, and then there was a link through to something called the Annapurna Ultra, and then I started to have a look at that, and then eventually I decided to come and do it all on my own. By pure coincidence I bumped into the guys doing the Annapurna Ultra, and I'm actually here at the same time. This is day one. The guys have just finished. They've done 32 kilometres running around. I've done 2 days of downhill walking in one day. Done over 30,000 steps. I'm now exhausted again, got the shakes. I'm in a little village called Luang, and apparently this little bus stop will take me to the next village, where I can either get another bus or a minibus or something, and I can get back to Pokhara, because I pushed it today. I'd reached the point where, the halfway point, I thought I either go on, it's lunchtime, either go on and do it all, or I stop at lunchtime. And once I'd made the decision, after I'd gone down a few hundred metres, there was no turning back. So here I am, and I'm looking forward to a decent hotel with no snoring and some food. Ouch. Who are doing the actual event, really friendly bunch, all trying to talk me into doing it next year. Really don't think so at the moment. There's a 77-year-old guy doing it. He came walking up the hill, so they've done 33 kilometres today. So I've done 30,000 steps. They've done a little bit more, up and down and around. Lovely little girl here in the village. Hello, namaste. Getting out of this village has proved a little bit more complex than I thought. I was hanging around for the local transport, and it's just turned up and said it's going to be the last one. So I haggled with them, and eventually they're going to take me down all the way to Pokhara rather than just the next village for equivalent of $35. So I know it's a lot to them, it's a huge amount, but to me it costs more to get to London, so it's going to be worth it. Okay, confession time. I could get away with not even mentioning this, but this is a sort of warts and all video, so I'm going to confess I've not yet eaten today. It's now 20 to 7. Here's the justification. I knew if I was actually feeling quite sick in the morning, and I had to go uphill. If I'd have eaten, I would have thrown up, and that actually would have been worse. Then when I started to walk downhill, as soon as I start to work out, I just don't feel hungry at all. Around lunchtime, when I could have stopped, I made the decision to go on. It was a case of, okay, keep going. And then when I stopped and waited for the transport, I knew as soon as I'd have ordered anything, I'd have missed the only transport as it was. Obviously I had to make special arrangements, but they got me back here. I've not even gone to a hotel, I've come straight to the pizza place I went to the other day, and just ordered pizza, which I just want to stick straight in my belly because I am hungry now. 20 odd kilometres,
over the Himalayas without food, hungry. Well, minutes ago I popped into a travel agent's to inquire about a gyroscope flight. I'm now at the airport with the boarding pass, being led the way to a little gyroscope flight that's going to take me over the route that I walked, but obviously from the air. Can't believe how quickly it's all happened. I only went in to ask how much it would be, but it was just too much to resist. This is the famous lake in Nepal, Phewa Lake, P-H-E-W-A, sometimes spelt with an F when these guys spell it. But it's lovely and tranquil here this morning, apart from someone mending their boat. The place is lined with lots of little fresh juice cafes, bars selling coconuts, mangoes, pomegranates. Lots of the restaurants sell fish straight from the lake, curried, roasted, however. But it's very tranquil here. It's lovely. So I've been told I can rent a motorcycle, and I was shown on a map that there is a road, in inverted commas, off the main one. This turns out to be the road I walked past and missed. Hopefully, I'll be able to get a motorcycle from here. I want to rent one of these Royal Enfields. And asked if I could hire one of their Royal Enfields. And the guy said, oh, we don't do day rentals, we only do trips. And typically they're for like 3 or 4 days. So I said, oh, I've only got 1 day left, etc, etc. I'm missing my bike back at home. I've got a big Triumph 1700. He completely changed his tune. Tell you what, we'll do it, we'll do it. So we went through, haggled, etc, etc. Then when it came to fill in the paperwork, he said, where's your driving licence? Didn't bring it with me, never thought for an instant. So to tell you what, have this one. So he's actually given me somebody else's licence. So today I'm someone called Christopher Tillman, okay, from the US. Okay, so I've got someone else's driving licence, and I'm off. I'm only going out for a couple of hours. I'm going to go to the Gurkha Museum and go and see what that's all about. So just a little bit insane. Pointed in roughly, vaguely the right direction, and then I just randomly weaved my way through some streets in second gear, just sightseeing, taking in the surrounding scenery, and miraculously arrived exactly where I wanted to, at the Gurkha Museum. Of course, incredibly proud people. Take a look at that motto. It's better to die than to be a coward. The selection for Gurkhas is supposed to be absolutely rigorous. Here's an example of some of the cartridges they had to load the rifles with, and what they had to do was bite the end off of those cartridges and then pour the ammunition into the actual the barrel of the gun itself. Now it was rumoured that the cartridges were covered with both pig and cow fat, which outraged both the Muslims and the Hindus, and it was this that was believed to have led to the Indian Mutiny. So during the Indian Mutiny there was a massive siege in Delhi, and the Gurkhas were absolutely crucial in their faith and their loyalty to the British government and to the British Army. They managed to hold out for 3 months and 8 days and managed to actually make a huge difference to the outcome of the mutiny itself. In recognition of that, the Queen said that they were to carry this Queen's truncheon. This is just a replica. The actual original is held in the UK, but what the Gurkhas now have to do when they join, they have to swear allegiance to the Queen and they have to touch the truncheon as part of their initiation. And these incredible guys here were all awarded the Victoria Cross. So these same names will probably be recognised at the Union Jack Club where I stay. There'll probably be at least photos of them, but here for each one is actually given a description of where they were born, when they joined, what action they took part in, and why they were awarded the Victoria Cross. Now you've got to admit, if you see these guys come over the trench wielding their kukris and war faces like that, it's got to be pretty scary. So we're now riding uphill to a place called Sarangot, which is one of the sort of must-do things apparently. Most people walk it. I've done enough walking. I had the bike for the day. I'm going to ride it. So I've come as far as I can. I met this lovely gentleman here who's going to take me to his restaurant. And your name is?
My name is Susan Thapa. I am from Sarangot, and I live at such a place where people across the world come. And sometimes the Indian people come and say, oh, what a beautiful country you have. You should be proud of that. Yeah. And people from France, they come and say, sorry, I'm from France. I speak very little English. What to do is not get menu. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Susan. So we're going to go to Susan's restaurant?
Yeah.
Literally, reading this, and the leg that Leveson Wood did through Nepal, and the whole reason he did it to start with was because he made friends with a guy called Binod. Talking to Susan here, and I happened to mention it, oh, I know him, I'm really good friends with his son. So he's now on the phone to organise for me to go and meet Binod
who was features heavily in this book. Crazy, absolutely crazy. So here's Leveson Wood with Vinod and his family, and I'm literally just walking up the steps now to go and meet him. What a lovely man. Very humble, very quiet, somewhat shy. I didn't want to video me talking to him. It was more like an interview. I was chatting to him about the book, and he was saying it's brought him a lot of business, but you know, he still, I wouldn't say he struggles, but it's not like he's lavishing on the side of the mountain now and doesn't have to work again at all. It's a good reference for him. He gave me his business card. I had a photo with him. But yeah, absolutely lovely man, and just utterly bizarre that I got to meet him, you know, considering I didn't know his name before I picked up the book and decided to come out here. So sister now is going to give us a demonstration of how to hand weave. Here's the sort of finished result that Susan's got here.
There you go. This is the finished product.
Yeah.
So my sister is weaving the same design, same size, same pattern and same quality shawl.
And she has to do it from memory, all from
Yes,
memory?
she has done all from memory, and she did it within 7 days.
7 days to make that.
Yeah.
Wow. Look how fine the work is.
Yeah, it's very fine work.
In some way seems to have surpassed the last event. Obviously the first thing I did was the zip wire. Then I went and did the trekking, which is obviously the whole reason why I came here in the first place. I know it was arduous, brutal at times. It got me into the forests, it gave me the solitude, and it gave me those incredible mountain views. Then I had the joy of doing the microlight flight. It was the gyrocopter thing, which gave me a completely different perspective on the route that I'd taken, the scale of it, completely different view, unbelievable. And today I hired Royal Enfield motorbike, went off to the Gherkin Museum, and on a complete last minute decision just suddenly wondered, I wonder what the chances are of being able to go and see Vinod, the guy that I'd been reading out in the book. And then lo and behold, half an hour later, suddenly met the guy. Gives you an idea that if you can think of it, if you can dream it, if you can imagine it, you can actually achieve it. The only thing that's standing in the way is going to be your own doubts and the inability to put your thoughts into action, because what I've done since I've been here has been the realisation of lots of dreams.